Hello, folks. So, welcome to part 15 of Learning Rust series. I'm doing this as part of 100 Days of Rust, and today is the seventh day. And let's get started. So, in the previous video, we were actually doing this exercise of functions, the functions 5. And if you check out, the error was basically an extra semicolon here. I realized I think I was sleepy when I was doing this, but I figured it out. But then I think it's very important for me to read the whole error properly. So clearly this is something we have seen before. I think mismatch types. Let's check it out though. Let's see. Explain. So Aaron has code example. I32. Okay, this is cool. But you send a string, then but it expects a integer and things like that, right? So this is a boolean. It expects a boolean, and then this expects a float. So mismatch types is something we've seen before, I think, in other exercises, previous exercises. Now, the problem here is it says implicitly returns. I think this is like a tuple because I remember seeing tuples with this, parenthesis with commas. Looks like an empty tuple or empty nothing. I'm not sure what it's called in Rust, but implicitly returns this as its body has no tail or return expression. So I'm guessing when you put a semicolon, this is not a tail expression, or this is not even an expression. It's a statement. At least that's how usually other languages mention or differentiate between an expression and a statement. A statement is just something that you evaluate and that's all. Doesn't have any value, doesn't have any final value, but an expression does have a final value. Usually expressions come on the right hand side and you have some variable on the left hand side and things like that. In this case, we're looking for a tail expression, which is like just an expression at the end of the function, or a return expression, which is like a return statement, basically return and then the value. So if we say return over here, I think it will just work. Or remove return and remove the semicolon also, it will become a tail expression. At least that's my guess based on what I'm reading here and this compiler error. But I think once we read more, we'll have a better understanding. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and try out other exercises and then dig deep into this a bit later. So let's fix this and all is good to go. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this and then see what the next exercise is. So the next exercise is about if statements, I think. So it says if we have mismatch types, awesome. So let's go here. Actually, wait, before going here, let's read the error. Pub, okay, I'm guessing it's a public, surely not a bar or anything like that. So public function bigger, okay. Maybe one is bigger than the other. So A integer 32-bit. This is signed. Signed integer 32-bit again B. And you return which is the bigger value, I guess, but expected I32 and then found nothing. Implicitly returns this. Okay, cool. I think we have a similar thing over here. Let's go check it out. Cool. So execute links and then done function bigger. Okay, what is this? Don't mind this for now. Okay. Run tests. Debug. Interesting. This runs tests. Okay. Downloading 32 crates. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. I mean, looks like it's downloading some libraries and then compiling, building them and whatnot. Let that happen. Now module, I'm guessing. Organize code into modules, use mod to create new modules, to encapsulate code, including other modules. Wow, okay, mod. Like structs and enums a module and its contents are private by default, inaccessible to code outside of the module. Allowing access, see the documentation for the pub keyword. Okay. Pub keyword, make an item visible to others. The keyword pub makes any module, function, or data accessible from inside of external modules. Okay. The pub keyword may also be used in a use declaration. Okay. Use module, something like that. So to re-export an identifier from a namespace. For more information on pub keyword, please see the visibility section of the reference, and for some examples, see Rust by itself. Awesome. Complete this function to return the bigger number. Do not use another function call. Okay, maybe something like math, I think. and do not use additional variables. Basically, they're trying to constrain the different solutions that you might come up with. And I'm guessing they might say something like, I mean, if you want to use more variables, like say another variable to check true or false and things like that. Here we are basically looking at if. I think they don't want us to use another variable, and they want to use us to use if, and no other function called like math dot big or whatever, right? I don't know what's there out there in like Rust standard library, if there's a math library and what it has. Compare and things like that, similar to say Java. For now, let's go ahead and like check out what this test is. I was going to check this out. So this hash CFG, I'm guessing it means configuration test. I don't know. And it says mod tests. You have multiple tests, is it? Use super. I'm not sure what this is. And then there's a hash test. There are two tests. Okay. So I have some experience with writing tests and running and reading tests. So I'm going to see if I can understand this. So function. So they're writing a test for this function. I'm guessing this is kind of like test-driven development because the test is there, but the function is not implemented. That's pretty cool. So 10 is bigger than 8. Okay. Assert equal. So this is, I think, this is supposed to check if two things are equal. The weird part is this thing. I think this is used only when there's a macro or when it's a macro. But the funny part is you're saying equal, but then usually the exclamation mark is used for not equal a lot of times in other languages. So it can get tricky. So I might even think like, hey, assert equal not. So maybe it means assert not equal. I don't know. So, but actually here it's just macro, I believe. But I have no idea. We have to check it out. But I'm just gonna take it at face value and be like, yeah, it's something, I just don't know what it is. Probably a macro or whatever, but it's asserting two things, and it's clear from here that it's doing that. Asserts that the two expressions are equal to each other using partial equal, I don't know, some way equality way, right? On panning, this macro will print the values of the expressions with their debug representations. Like assert this macro has a second form, custom panning. Okay, examples. Cool. Testing addition with. Okay, cool. So now it's checking. That's weird. Oh yeah, 10 is bigger than 8. The answer should be 10 over here. Basically 10 comma 8. The answer should be 10, and they're checking if it's 10 equal. So this is the expected value. The actual value should be 10, but currently there's nothing being returned. And then 42 is bigger than 32. So actual value, I mean, the expected value is 42. Expected comma actual. So they're checking if the actual is that. So, and they put the smaller number first, and here they put the smaller number second, and like we can probably fail one test and then fail, pass another test. Like we can just say A, and I think it'll just pass one of these tests. Let's see, running two tests, 10 is bigger than 8, okay. 42 is bigger than 32, failed. Basically what happened here is like I regardless of which is bigger, I always return A. And since there are only two numbers, it can go right in sometimes, it can go wrong sometimes. So in this case, it went right half of the time, which is like in this case, 10 is greater than 8, so 10. 32 is not greater than 42, and if I return A is 32, then it's wrong. So this one failed. Successes, 10 is bigger, failure is this. Left 42 to right. Interesting. This does not say expected actual, it says left, right. That's all. Run with trust factors to display a backtrace. Okay. Interesting. So now tests result failed one, passed one, failed. Oh, sorry, failed. Like the overall summary, and then one passed, and then one failed. 0 ignored, 0 measured, 0 filtered out, finished in this much time. Cool. Now let's do this, right? Like let's say if A is greater than B, then A, right? Else B. Right? Now what do you think? Awesome. Code is compiling the test fast. You can keep working on this as well. Awesome, cool. So that's pretty straightforward. Can we run the test? So here it says run. Oh, 0 pass, 0 fail, 4 filtered out. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why it got filtered out. Let me try again. Run tests. Interesting. Test unoptimized with debug info. Zero tests. Huh? Weird. Let me try to run this test. Okay, that's running. No, that's still zero tests. Hmm. Okay, I'm not sure what's the problem here. Running this, Rustling. Interesting. Test result is okay, but it says zero pass. Four filtered out and all that. Not sure why that is the case. But anyways, I'm just gonna try out debug once. Can't install command for debugging. Okay. Code LLDB. Okay. Install. Okay. Disable. Enable for this workspace. And then debug has failed. Okay. Any present that. Okay. Okay, cool. There's no target. Oh, sorry, cargo. Okay. Interesting. Anyways, so now it's an interesting thing. So we have got this working, and I tried to run the test from here, but didn't exactly run. But you can see what it's running though here. Like it's basically running one moment. Run tests. No, let me just run this one. Cool. So, oh, okay, I'm not even able to see. Let's clear this out. Problems. Terminal. Close. Let's run this test. So it runs cargo tests, right? Let me go here. Rustlings. Try this. It says zero tests, right? What if I go here? Exercises exercises if oops zero tests. Interesting. What is cargo? I mean, I have cargo. I don't know what it does. Let's check it out. I believe I remember reading it as like a build system and a dependency management system. So let's check it out. Rust's package manager. Okay. I mean, package, dependency, module, library, uh, potato. Yeah, it's kind of similar stuff. So toolchain, version, list, installed commands, explain, run, cargo, Rustly, all. So verbose, quiet, do not print cargo log messages, coloring, auto, always, never, frozen, require cargo dot log, and cache are update. Okay, cool. Run without accessing the network. Nice, interesting. This is interesting. Like, offline completely. And build, install Rust binary, default location is home current, install Rust binary, search, publish package, and upload this package to the registry. Nice. Run the tests. Tests for running the test, run a binary or example of the local package, add dependencies, create a new cargo package, or like module dependency and all that, and then create a new cargo package, same thing in an existing directory. Okay. Build this packages and its dependencies documentation, remove the target directory. Interesting. This is kind of like make build, make clean and whatnot. But with cargo, analyze the current package and report errors, but don't build object files. Okay, interesting. So now if I do test and hell, I should be able to see some test stuff. So it says options, test name, and then argument. So test name is interesting. It says tests. What is the test name over here? It says test actually. It's not tests. Interesting. So I'm guessing we have to say cargo test. That's all. If specified, only run tests containing this string in their names, arguments for the test binary. Cool. Quiet, display one character per test instead of one line. Okay. Okay, interesting. Let's try to run this out, right? Like test and then no capture apparently. So let's see how that goes. No, oops. Does it say no capture? Structure, no structure. Interesting. I'm just gonna run this and see what it says. Interesting. So it ran all these tests. Oops, it's running a lot of tests actually. Oh, there are like two, like there's if1 and then if1.rs and then if2.rs. So it's running all of them. This one is the if1.rs thing, I think. And this is for the if2.rs. Interesting. So now test only the specified binary. Can I say test only the specified files? Doc, test only the specified documentation, release, build artifacts in the release mode, build artifacts in the specified profile, manifest, unit graph, okay. All targets, untestable and okay. Test all tests, okay. Interesting. I can't mention the file name. Huh? Test one is cool. Let me try out quiet. Display only one character per test instead. This okay. How about quiet? Interesting. That's all. This is like how you see that in RSpec, I think in Ruby on Rails, when you're doing Ruby on Rails or just Ruby, you see RSpec showing these dot 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 and it says, I think, F for failure or C for correct or something like that. Shows one character, that's all. And it's like when you have so many tests, it's easier to just see the dots moving around. And when you have a failing test, I think, let's just make one test fail, right? Let's return A always, and then let's try out this. Wow, the test's passed. Why is that? Interesting. I'm not sure why the test's passed. Shouldn't have passed, but weird. I don't know if it has some cached build or something. No default features, target, ignore Rust version. Okay, keep going, not about the. Okay, no fail fast. Run all tests regardless of failure. Okay. Oh, like even if there's a failure in video, it's fine. All targets. Test all tests. Okay. Interesting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like do this. Here should have failed actually speaking. For example, here it's failing. Not sure why it's not failing there. Let me check for a moment. Just for a number of values default. Exclude config. Okay. Can I say all tests? Now it's failing. Like, looks like it's running a lot of tests now. There were 4 that were passing, so this 4 is something else, I think, probably from another thing. But there is one that's failing clearly. Oops. Okay. Cool. This is probably in some other exercise integration test. Anyways, weirdly, our test is at least over there. It seems to be working. I think it didn't test the right stuff. But nevertheless, I understood a bit about cargo and cargo test command. Okay. Cool. So now I think we are good to go over here. I was just checking out what this even means. So they say don't mind this for now, but I was just interested in checking out the cargo and like mentioning these. It's kind of like some label, I think. I don't know. Some sort of tagging. So yep. That's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.